Not gonna lie, it took me a little bit longer than the other real life videos, but I did finally manage to get a clickbait title. Got a question in there, and the question is, should this Mercedes engine be banned from F1? Are you actually joking me? Are people actually asking this question? I mean, we're going to get into that later, but yeah. What's up, guys, and welcome to another reaction video. This time, we're going to be reacting to the Brazilian Grand Prix, and to be honest, I'm thinking of making this just a regular thing on Tuesdays, so if you've got any sort of ideas of what to call this series as such, then do let me know down in the comments. Basically, I'm just going to be reacting to F1 stuff and talking about it for as close to 10 minutes as possible. So bring on the mid-roll, ads. If you are new around here, do make sure to subscribe for more of this stuff. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the reaction. So, of course, we had quite an eventful Saturday in Brazil. Well, by that I mean literally like the first minute of qualifying saw Lewis Hamilton just crash, just randomly. The back end just stepped out. He was into the barriers and that was it. Everybody was proclaiming that he didn't deserve to be a four-time world champion. But then on Sunday, he absolutely blitzed through the field, and it begs the question of how much better is that Mercedes engine compared to everything else. I mean, yes, obviously he had a fresh power unit, and just basically everything on his car was replaced, and he had the race setup on the car. But I mean, it was just ridiculous how he was just getting through the field. And this 2017 season hasn't been renowned for regular overtaking, but Hamilton just made it look easy work. He really did. And I was seeing on Twitter some people saying that the Mercedes engine should just be banned, you know, they should just get rid of it. And it made me think, I was like, that is basically like FIFA having a meeting. You know, they sat down, the Gianni Infantino's just sat there, and they're going to say, you know what, we're going to ban Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi from playing football because they're just too good. They're just too good. So, yeah, I did find that one quite funny. But, yeah, to be honest, like this hybrid era has been, what, 4 years? And nobody has got near to Mercedes on engine power. So, you know, I completely agree that this full V6 era has just been built on just very complicated pieces of engineering that nobody really understands. And yeah, Mercedes have nailed it. So I completely agree that the engines are way too complicated. But yeah, I think the others just need to step up the game, to be honest. The other quite ominous thing about this is that there's no real big engine regulation change until 2021, which is obviously when they get rid of the MGU-H and replace it with a bigger MGU-K. But to be honest, like even so, like the V6 turbos are still staying. So yeah, we could have Mercedes domination for the next 20 years for all we know, which would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, the thing about this season as well is Mercedes have obviously got the best engine still, but obviously that 2014 to 2016 era was pretty, like the regulations were pretty consistent then. And it does make a change that this season that a non-Mercedes driver has sort of won a race, not just based on luck. So yeah, obviously we had Verstappen in Malaysia who just randomly won that race on complete genuine pace. And obviously Vettel has had quite a few victories this season as well. But yeah, like 2014 to 2016, the only drivers that actually won were just as a result of being in the right place at the right time. So fortunately, we are going in the right direction, and it's going to be interesting actually to see what happens in 2018. And that sort of brings me nicely, little segue onto Red Bull. I mean, what happened to them this weekend? Obviously, Ricciardo had that engine penalty, or I assume it was an engine penalty. I mean, he's got a Renault engine, and he had a penalty, so it sort of makes sense. But yeah, he stormed through the field, but like Verstappen and even Ricciardo, really, like they just didn't have the pace on the Ferraris and Mercedes, which was a little bit baffling. Obviously, the Renault engine has had a lot of issues this weekend. And yeah, there's been very vocal members of Toro Rosso, especially, I'm looking at you, Franz Tost, who has not been very happy about the accusations against his team. And yeah, I think that's just literally Red Bull have just said to Toro Rosso, look, we don't really like Renault, just we'll tell you what to say to them. You know, you're getting rid of them next year. You can say whatever you want, and just venting their anger, to be honest. So yeah, it's not been a great season for Renault. I mean, they have got 2 victories as a result of Red Bull, but It's as if, like, this second half of the season, their engines have just been disintegrating, which is pretty embarrassing. You know, the Toro Rosso drivers, ever since both Gasly and Hartley have come into F1, I don't think there's been a single race where they haven't taken an engine penalty, which it must be quite depressing for them. And then, obviously, that's sort of carried through to Ricciardo and Verstappen as well. So I think Red Bull could be in amongst it next year, but just as long as that engine just doesn't blow up when it gets to, like, Malaysia next season. So, yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Now, I must have gone through about 5 minutes of this video without even mentioning who won the Brazilian Grand Prix. It was, of course, Sebastian Vettel, but even over the radio, he seemed a bit subdued. I mean, it was a bit of a hollow victory. Of course, the championship was gone. But yeah, I mean, Ferrari seemed to have decent pace this weekend, to be honest. I mean, I do think that if Hamilton had have not just crashed, then he would have pretty much walked the race. But yeah, what happened to Bottas? That is what I want to know. Obviously, he got a poor start, and Vettel was ahead into turn 1. And he just literally, apart from that, the pit phase where he got, obviously, nearly undercut Vettel. Apart from that, he just didn't even get near to even DRS range on Vettel, which was a little bit baffling. I mean, I assume it was dirty air, but I don't know. That Ferrari seems to kick out a lot of dirty air, to be fair. You know, we saw Hamilton at the end, stuck behind Raikkonen. And I don't know what the aerodynamics on that Ferrari is like, but he just kicks out so much dirty air at the rear end that the Mercedes just couldn't even get near to it. And that, coupled with the fact that the Mercedes can't really deal with traffic, just wasn't a recipe for a great race, to be honest. Esteban Ocon, he got so close to sort of completing his first full season in Formula 1. By not getting any DNFs. Obviously, he hasn't completed every racing lap because he has been lapped a few times, but he came so close. And then Roman Grosjean happened. I believe he had a puncture, Grosjean, apparently. But also what I've heard, I don't know whether this is true, that Ocon had actually gone off the track and started to spin before Grosjean had even hit him. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that one. Maybe let me know down below if that is actually true. But, yeah, you've got a feel for him. He got so close. And, yeah, it would have been great to see him complete this full season because he's generally been better. He's been better than Perez since the summer break, I think it's fair to say. Obviously, Perez out-qualified him this weekend quite considerably, but on the whole, Ocon has been very impressive this season. And I'd be intrigued to see whether in 2019 he's actually given that Mercedes seat. Another one of the big talking points from this weekend was Felipe Massa. Obviously, his final Brazilian Grand Prix. No, this video isn't a year old. This is actually his final Brazilian Grand Prix, not the rehearsal that was last year. So yeah, obviously he came across the line and his son came on the radio and everybody just welled up. I mean, Felipe has been a great driver. Obviously he's been in F1 for a good 15 years, I believe now. And that 2007 to 2008 period, even 2006 through 2008, I mean, he was a properly quick driver back then. And then, unfortunately, the accident happened, and he just hasn't quite been the same since. But yeah, really, really emotional scenes, obviously in his home country, and hopefully he can get a good send off as well in Abu Dhabi. But now the question is, Williams, who is going to replace him? I mean, Lance Stroll has been good in patches this season. Obviously, he had that great race in Baku, where he somehow managed to finish third and was very close to finishing second. And then he just out of nowhere got 6th place in Mexico. So yeah, and then 7th in Italy with that great qualifying. So yeah, in glimpses he's been great, but he just has literally no consistency whatsoever. So I do feel Williams will, well, they'll obviously persevere with him for next season. But it'll be interesting to sort of see where he goes after that, because obviously he's still only 19. But then you've got the likes of, I don't know, someone like Jaime Alguersuari, who was in F1 at 19, and then by about 21 he was, you know, kicked out of the Red Bull Driver Academy. Same with Daniel Kvyat as well. I mean, he's hardly an old driver. So yeah, Lance Stroll, not too sure where his career is going to be going, but if you look at sort of Williams, like this time last year, obviously they had Massa and Bottas. Now next season, they're not going to have either of them at the team, so it's quite an overhaul going on at Williams. They've got quite a few different personnel behind the scenes as well, so yeah, the question is, I don't know who they're going to put in the car. Let me know down in the comments who you'd put in that Williams, whether you'd put De Resta, Kubica, maybe even someone like Pascal Wehrlein in the car. That'd be great to know. Personally, I'd love to see Kubica back in Formula 1. I mean, I think for him it's just sort of an achievement to actually get back into Formula 1, and hopefully he can sort of show his pace. And it, you know, if he was like really quick, and sort of consistently outperform Stroll. It will be interesting to see whether a team, maybe like Mercedes or Mercedes, I would say Ferrari, but I just don't think they'd sort of go for someone that old. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether they would sort of just take a chance on him for one season. Maybe he's just sort of like a number 2 driver if he does show that great pace. But yeah, I don't think realistically that's going to happen. But yeah, to be honest, I just think for Kubica it's going to be an achievement to actually get into the sport. In terms of Paul di Resta, obviously he did race once this season, had no preparation whatsoever, but was 0.8 of a second off Stroll in qualifying. To be honest, like, Paul di Resta was a decent enough driver in Formula 1, but like, what's he really going to do? He's sort of going to be quite a... It's sort of nothingness. He's not really going to be going anywhere further in his F1 career. He's more sort of going to be a stopgap. Pascal Wehrlein is the man that I'd like to see most if Robert Kubica is for some reason not able to drive in Formula 1, because yeah, I think he's obviously shown in the 2 years that he's been in F1 that he's definitely got the pace. Obviously he's still in the Mercedes Young Driver Academy, so yeah, I'd love to see him be given a shot in a proper midfield team, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether that happens. And finally, we are going to finish off with the facepalm of the week. The strangest moment I think that happened this weekend. I'll try and put a picture up on the screen now of the Haas T-Wing in qualifying. I can't even remember whose car it was on. I think it was Grosjean. But yeah, the T-Wing had just split in half. Literally no idea how it had happened. But yeah, we had half a coat hanger on the car. Not sure what that did to the aerodynamics. And to be honest, I don't understand how the T-Wing even works whatsoever, because it just doesn't look as if it should be on an F1 car. Never mind actually work in terms of aerodynamic performance. But yeah, Haas, what are you doing? What are you doing? I think they need to get people to actually sort of put those on properly next time. But yeah, that just about concludes today's video, I think. If you have enjoyed this, do let me know. If you haven't, let me know how I can improve it down in the comments, because I'm not sort of completely sold on this format as of yet. Also, literally no idea what to call this, so it's probably just going to be a clickbait title and then this. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Do take care. Bye-bye.